Armentiers, parlez-vous. Mademoiselle from Armentiers, parlez-vous. Mademoiselle from Armentiers, she hasn't been kissed for 40 years. Hickey, picky, parlez-vous. Out on kicking Armentiers, parlez-vous. Out on kicking Armentiers, parlez-vous. Out on kicking Armentiers, broke the spell of 40 years. Hickey, picky, parlez-vous. The officers get all the steak, parlez-vous. The officers get all the steak, parlez-vous. The officers get all the steak, and all we get is a bellyache. Hickey, picky, parlez-vous.
Welcome again to another abridged episode of The History Freak. We're going to take a break from autographs and manuscripts and talk about ephemera, something a little more exciting. Right now, we're going to showcase a regimental history, a trench raiding club, and a signal corps riding crop from the First World War, so stay tuned. Here's a regimental history of the Royal Regiment of Artillery at Les Cateaux. This original first edition was published in 1919 and focuses on the action of the troops on August 26, 1914. This regimental history was compiled very early during and after the war and served as an impetus for officers to submit the histories of their various regiments. Next, thanks to Spandau Militaria in the UK, we have an original British trench raiding club. These are handmade melee weapons used in trench raiding expeditions to either quietly kill or wound enemy soldiers. These were made of wood and metal to maximize inflicted injuries and were usually made in bulk behind the lines in blacksmith shops. There's truly nothing redeeming or pleasant about this weapon. It was a weapon of last resort and of medieval-style violence in trench warfare. Here we have a lovely and ornate riding crop of the British Signal Corps. The Signal Corps was the first formal body of signalers in the British Army during World War I, and they were used to provide communications by visual signals, mounted signals, and or telegraph. Here's a prime example of one used for mounted signals in the Signal Corps. As you can see, there was no tip originally sold to me with this, so I went to a leather goods restorer and had one recreated that completes the riding crop's nice aesthetic. And here we have a real history freak treat. A complete, or at least mostly complete, French Great War poilu infantry officer with uniform, weapons, and accessories. What an exciting thing we have for you today to showcase. Atop the half mannequin, we have an original Adrian helmet from our friends at Relic Militaria. It has the bold emblem RF, quite visible, République Française. And here is the same officer with the helmet removed and his side cap adorning his head. Quite rare and in rough shape is the original Adrian helmet cover, still intact. These are becoming harder to find. Moving around to the soldier's back, we see an original backpack or knapsack with all of the clasps and buckles still intact. At the soldier's side is an original period rucksack, and if you look closely, you could see the number 6 emblazoned on it. And continuing further around the side, we see an original period canteen complete with original straps. And from Great War Militaria to complete the ensemble, personal effects including reproduction box of matches, a reproduction cartridge box, and an original ointment container. And on the other side of our officer, we see an original period bread bag and Y-straps made of leather around his shoulders and neck. Moving fully around to the front, we see 2 original mess kits, including original cutlery, and a pair of original field glasses or binoculars. Quite impressive. And here's an overview of the same from the top looking down. And by his hand at the ready is an original inert French ball hand grenade. In the expanded view, we see around the front his utility belt, a cylindrical map case, holster, and Maz 1892 revolver with lanyard. This model was based on the 1873 to 1887 design, which was the first double-action 11mm revolver used by the French Army. It was used widespread in the First World War and bears original marks and serial numbers on it. Quite a striking piece and helps complete the weaponry of the officer. And here it is reholstered with the lanyard quite visible and unfurled. And on the half mannequin's wrist for display purposes is an original period dog tag from our friends at Relic Militaria. And just out of view, we have an original pair of pattern 1914 trousers and an original undershirt, again from Great War Militaria. This completes the display. I hope you've enjoyed the life-size mannequin and also the many accessories found here. Have a great summer, and as I always say, stay in the past. It's been over 100 years since the end of the Great War, lest we forget. Thank you very much.